Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of At Nerdvana Live.
We've done it. We're not dead yet. It's let's see. I guess this is our third episode. At Nerdvana Live is a weekly video call-in show streamed via YouTube and Twitch. It's also available as an audio podcast. I understand it's now on iTunes.
It is now on iTunes, so you can go ahead and subscribe there.
If you want to listen to us on the way or home or to work or whatever it is that you do in your life during the week, you can now get it as a regular podcast on iTunes. I'm Randy Pitchford. I'm hosting today. My co-host is Elisa Melendez, and she's the new media manager for Gearbox Software, and we're currently broadcasting live from At Nerdvana in Frisco, Texas. Pretty cool. I've got my Topo Chico, so I'm happy. They're not an official sponsor, but maybe if I, call them out, maybe I can get some. It's the best sparkling water in the world.
Just hold it up nicely for the camera.
Oh, I love that stuff. But this is we're doing this live in the At Nerdvana coffee shop. Actually, we're technically doing it in both the At Nerdvana coffee shop and the At Nerdvana food and spirits bar and restaurant, because the podcast booth that we're in straddles both venues.
We are in between.
Yeah, we're kind of sitting above both things, and we have a glass window behind us that you can see that sees into the coffee shop, and we've got glass windows in front of us that look into the bar and the restaurant. And these are cool venues if you happen to live in North Dallas or anywhere in the vicinity near Frisco, Texas, and you want to stop by. The coffee shop is awesome. It features curated, locally roasted, single-source coffee. And it's also a board game shop, and you could play board games, and there's a free lending library. You could bring your own games. There is some games available in the gift shop, and you can buy them if you'd like, but you're welcome to bring your own. And they have some incredible drinks, incredible coffees. I like the decadent sipping chocolate. That's my favorite thing. It's like liquid chocolate bar. It's delicious. The bar, Food and Spirits, is right next door. It's a video game themed bar. They have a scratch kitchen. They've got craft beers, custom cocktails. There's tons of booth with video game systems from retro classics all the way up to modern machines. I'm probably there like 2 or 3 nights a week now. After the show at around 6 to 6:30. Cast and crew of At Nerdvana Live will be in the restaurant. We'll have dinner. And last time,
yes.
Yeah, so each time we try something we've never tried before. So a week ago, we tried the Triforce Cheesecake, and that was amazing. There's actually 3 cheesecakes: Courage, Wisdom, and Power. This time we made flatbreads. There on the menu is a flatbread development kit, an FDK.
I love it.
And you can choose your platform, your operating system, your modifications. And I actually made like a pizza flatbread. I had put every meat that they had on it with the classic marinara sauce. But you guys did something different. What'd you go for?
Yeah, I went more with like a classic kind of barbecue chicken flatbread. It had a little bit of a barbecue sauce base with some cheddar cheese, some diced chicken and onions. It was fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you can use the flatbread development kit to basically make your own flatbread, which is kind of a nerd pizza, basically. I guess that's the best way.
Nerd pizza's great.
Nerd pizza. Nerd pizza. Right on. Well, we're going to be down there in 90 minutes or so, and we're going to have dinner. So if anybody's in the area and wants to hang out with us, you're welcome to. We like to try different things, so we'll see what's new for us this time. By the way, it is a live call-in show. There should be a number at the bottom of your screen if you are watching, and you want to talk live with myself or Elisa. We can talk about anything nerd related. If you want to ask anything about video game development, I am the president of Gearbox Software. I've been making video games my entire professional career, almost my entire professional career, and I know a couple of things about that. I'm also totally happy to talk about other nerd stuff, as is Elisa.
Yep. I'm a giant nerd. I've been playing games for as long as ever.
And feel free to call in, and you can talk to us about anything, even if you want to challenge us. I'm totally comfortable with any kind of question, even hard ones. I actually think I might enjoy that. So give it a shot. Don't be shy. Call in. And the only thing, just be respectful of our audiences, because we are doing this to try to entertain the folks watching. Yep. So if something is not entertaining, we might get rid of you. But yeah, so we're going to talk for a few minutes about a couple of nerd things, and then we'll go to the phone lines, and we're going to take your calls. So queue up.
I'm already seeing some awesome calls, and there's one particular that I'm a little excited for you to talk to.
Right on, yeah. And this is a live show.
Yes.
So if you don't want to call and you just want to watch, anything could happen.
Anything.
It's a live show. Anything can happen.
Anything.
Something will go down. I hope something cool goes down. We will find out. Let's chat for a few minutes about what's been going on in the nerd world.
Yes.
Let's see. What do you think? What do you think we should start with?
So one of the cool things that you mentioned last week is that you were going to attend a conference with some particularly nerdy stuff in it.
That's right.
And you came back, and I hear we might have some video.
That's true.
Have some visuals
that's
to go along with that.
Yeah, so I went to this conference called IAAPA, IAAPA, and you can look that up and dig into it yourself. But basically, it's where it's a trade show for all things amusement. So they've got like everything from coin-op video games to bounce houses to laser tag arenas to full-on roller coasters.
What?
Like anything you could ever imagine, from amusement parks to your local Dave & Buster's, everything in between. They've got it. Carnival stuff, all the cheap, crappy prizes that they don't give you because they're ripping you off at the carnival games. They've got those. In fact, one of the things that was interesting, so we were there to, is a work trip for us. We're trying to think about ways some of our properties can kind of invade this world, this universe, trying to maybe see if we can get some coin-op video games made with some of our properties like Brothers in Arms or Duke Nukem or Borderlands or Battleborn or Homeworld. Or some other things that we're working on, and or do some licensing deals. There's all kinds of crazy stuff there. One of the things that we found, that was there, and I went with Erica, who's on your team. Actually, she's part of the publishing group, and she's our director of licensing, and she's amazing. And she just had a kid.
Yes, she did.
So she's a new mom, but she went out and did the trade show. And one of the things that she found was that there's all the companies that make the prizes for the competition games or the midway games, like when you throw the balls, knocking over the milk cans,
right,
or rolling the thing up into the little holes and the little horse races, and whoever wins the race wins a prize. By the way, those milk cans, it's got to be rigged. I'm convinced that when the apocalypse happens, when the nukes come from Kim Jong-il and the nuclear apocalypse has destroyed everything in the universe, the only thing left standing will be those freaking 3 milk cans. Bastards.
Always.
Yes, but we found some of these plushie guys, and we're looking at them, and they're making those little knockoff stuffed animals, and we're imagining they're all they've got to be all counterfeit, bootleg, or whatever. But apparently there are people that do officially licensed things, and we found. I took a photo of it.
Oh, there it is.
It's Hello Neighbor plushies.
I love it.
They were on display.
That is
and
awesome.
They're on the screen right now. So if you want a Hello Neighbor plushie, visit your local carnival and throw a bunch of money into the big crane game or throwing ping pong balls into fish bowls.
Get yourself
and
a creepy
maybe you'll
neighbor.
get lucky enough to win a Hello Neighbor plushie, because I've seen firsthand they exist.
They do
that
exist.
Happens.
That's amazing.
A lot of people think that that we get everything for licenses for our properties. No, sometimes we're the last to get stuff, whether it's action figures or toys or whatever. So what else did I see? What else? Oh, I saw these guys made this Pong machine, and it looks absolutely amazing. It's probably never going to sell. Because it looks like the kind of thing that will be hard to maintain. It also looks, it's more, it seems more like it's something that I want in my house, but I don't know if I'd make sense in an actual arcade.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Yeah,
here.
run
this
it.
Pong.
It's physical Pong.
Physical Pong.
It looks 3D, but in fact, those paddles are actual physical objects, and the ball is a physical object.
What?
And there's magnets underneath that are moving it all around.
Really?
Yeah, can you run that again? It's absolutely bonkers.
So that's an actual ball and actual paddles.
It's not a ball. It's like this little square block. It looks like a pixel, but it's sliding around on the surface, being controlled by magnets. And when you turn the wheel, your little paddle slides back and forth. Again, little magnets underneath the table are sliding this physical paddle back and forth. It's really, really cool.
That's cool.
And completely bonkers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. I saw this other thing that I don't know what the use case is for it, but as I walked by, I'm like, that is like a real life manifestation of like the hologram projections in Borderlands. Like when you use your Echo device and you get your screen to come up, or when you use a vending machine and it projects onto, you know, like this
really?
Screen. So I saw that. It's basically that in real life. And yeah, he's got the
check
video.
him out now.
It's hard to see, but that's not a screen behind. That's just it's like a printed piece of material. And then there's this video that's just sort of floating out in space about 6 inches or so away from the backdrop. And that's why I rotated the camera a bit so you can see the kind of parallax.
Oh, that's cool.
It was bonkers. It's absolutely crazy. I want one. I don't know what I'd do with it. But
yeah, we'll figure something out.
It's like a holographic projection of video into the air in real life, and it's real, and it's amazing.
Dope.
Man, that is that's
really
some cool stuff. Oh, there was one other thing that you should see. It's so let me. There's some backstory. Some people know, you know this. I used to be a magician.
Yes.
Before I was a video game developer, and I have a theater. And we perform in this theater. We do live variety arts, magicians, and the theater's called the Peacock Theater. And I have a couple of gimmicks and tricks and other things that are, you know, like I've got this bottle that floats, and I've got we call it the Enchanted Bottle, and I've got some other stuff. But I took a video of this toucan that sings and animates because I thought that would be cool to do it as a peacock. So first, check this out. Let's hear it. And so it's got this tiny little microcontroller that controls it all, and it's got, obviously it's like an animatronic thing. It's like a Disneyland thing, right?
Yeah.
So I took the video and I sent it to Christy to say, hey, this is awesome.
You should get a peacock.
We should have a peacock made. And she said, I would take a bat to that thing in 30 seconds. And I said, but imagine peacock. And she said, absolutely not. I want to beat it to death. Those were her actual tweets.
Oh, you got vetoed.
So,
womp womp. It reminds me of the stuff, the birds from Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room.
It is. Yeah. It is. In the tiki room, the tiki room, where the birds sing words and the flowers croon. Tiki room. So I think I know. Well, I'm going to stop there.
It's a great place to eat a Dole Whip. It's fantastic.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
So that was pretty. There's
really
so
cool.
much stuff there though. I met
skee ball.
I talked to one of my heroes who I'd met him before, but we got a chance to have lunch together. A guy named Eugene Jarvis. Do you know who Eugene Jarvis is?
The name sounds familiar, but tell me more.
He created Robotron. He created Defender.
Whoa.
Right, so he has a company called Raw Thrills, and they make coin-op video games. So they're doing everything from, they got a new remake of the classic Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game. They got remakes of like Cruisin', but they also have new stuff like an Injustice game that they did, and just some awesome stuff. A new Walking Dead game that's pretty good that I got to play. Some great stuff. They also have this giant, it's like Jumbotron screen Pac-Man. It's real. It's like full size, and they did a Jumbotron screen Space Invaders.
What?
Except they reimagined Space Invaders as a shooter. So you got this fixed gun that you go, so you're shooting down. But it's the classic 8-bit. Not even 8-bit. It's the classic Space Invaders art, and it's freaking awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I super love it, and I played that, and it was super fun. And here's the thing, I didn't say a damn thing. I don't know if any of you guys have seen. I have this jacket. It's a Robert Graham sport coat that I like to wear, and it's blue. And I've been wearing it a lot lately. And I should have brought it in, but the fabric is tiny Space Invaders.
I've seen,
and they're
that
very
one.
subtle. And you, even if you're like standing right in front of me and talking to me, you might not notice that they're Space Invaders. I didn't say a damn thing.
That jacket is extremely good.
And Eugene never noticed. He never said anything about it. But I wasn't going to tell him. But yeah, we're talking to Eugene. Maybe we'll do something together.
That'd be great.
Yeah, they've got some really cool technology and some cool things that they're doing in the world of coin-op video games. What else should we talk about? Anything else going on in the world?
There's plenty. I mean, we do have a couple of callers. There's been one kind of very special one that's been waiting for you for a while.
Yeah, we'll get to the callers.
Okay, all right, we'll make them wait.
Okay, well, why don't we start with callers, and then we'll and then we can come back to chatter as necessary. Oh, guess what? I'm seeing the callers right now.
Yes,
and you guys are in for a treat. This first person that I'm going to take is actually a friend of mine, and this person has worked on all the Borderlands games with us. So let's take the call.
Caller, you're on the air.
Hello, Mikey. You on the air, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you ruined the surprise. I was going to be like, long-time listener, first-time caller. I was going to do the whole bit.
Oh, man, I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Well, we can pretend. Hi, this is Mikey from Plano, Texas. You're on the air.
I just wanted to see what this is all about because I think it's a cool idea to have a live show that people can just call in, and I miss you guys.
Oh, I miss you too.
That's what I want to say. But I do have a question.
Oh yeah.
Well, I was thinking about this recently. Like, what is because I play my Nintendo Switch like all the time.
Me too.
And I was wondering what has the most playtime hours for you? Because when I did the math,
Switch?
Mario came in at like number 4.
On Switch?
Just because I consumed it so fast. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, like,
you know what?
What did you play the most?
If I have to guess on Switch, and I don't have data in front of me, so I don't know. But if I had to guess, I actually think that the most playtime my Switch has had with me is Golf Story.
Oh!
Have you played Golf Story?
Yes, and it's like number 3 on my list.
Okay,
so
I think it might be number 1 on mine. Yeah. It's
that's awesome.
Then it's that or Zelda. I've spent a lot of time playing Zelda. I mean, Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After about 200,
Elisa, what about you?
After about 200 hours, though, Zelda starts to get a little much.
So far, I only have Odyssey. I keep hearing things like I need to get Zelda, I need to get Stardew Valley, I need to get Snipper Clips, probably. There's a whole bunch of stuff that I need to get, but so far my first and only love has been Super Mario Odyssey.
It's great though. That's all you need.
What surprised me was the sheer number of hours I ended up putting into Rabbids.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Is that your number 1?
Yeah, well, so the difficulty curve I would describe as insane. Like, the last world took me weeks. And we're talking played constantly. And I wasn't, like, frustrated. I loved it. I adored it. But, yeah, that's my number 1.
Wow.
Cool.
And number 2 is Steamworld Dig 2.
Oh, far out. Yeah. I haven't played the sequel, but I played Steamworld Dig. That's far out.
It consumed me. That's the first game I've 100%ed in probably decades.
That's
What?
awesome.
I love that that's the game that did it. Like you
I
have
know,
you have a
right?
Switch with presumably with Mario and with Zelda and all that, but no, it's
That's the
SteamWorld
one.
Dig 2 that grabbed you.
Well,
It's good stuff.
the
It's a great game.
reason Mario lands so low, I think, on a lot of people's list is I consumed it in 2 days. It was like, done. You know?
Yeah, that's. I mean, did you get every moon or did you just go through the storyline?
No, I need to go. That's on my list.
Right,
I have less than 200.
That's what's
so.
happening. That's what's happening, right? I think so. Christy, right now, for example, Christy's playing Assassin's Creed Origins, and once I got my Xbox One X hooked up, I went immediately back to the Shadows of Mordor game. Excuse me. And so once that started happening, like Mario Odyssey hasn't gotten any playtime. But I have a feeling we'll both go back to it because there's still moons to do. Right?
Right.
You got to get
so many.
You got to get the moons, man.
I'm actually super stoked because literally after this show, I'm about to hit the road with our tech and drive 16 hours to Indiana for Thanksgiving. And I just got really excited because I realized I can play this in the car. This is amazing.
Elisa, you really need to grab Golf Story and Steamworld Dig 2 then. If you're going to go 16 hours, you need the good.
Golf Story for sure. And, Mikey's recommending Steamworld Dig 2, so that's probably... I'm going to have to check that out now myself.
Yay!
The Switch is so amazing because it's a great home console, but it's also like the best portable console I have right now. So they totally did it. And like I knew that's what they were going for, and it absolutely is working for me in that capacity. So I'm pretty excited about that. So what else is going on, man? What else is going on in your world?
What are you doing?
Oh, bleh. A lot of YouTube, a lot of weird things that my life has changed.
Yeah.
It's like I used to come in and see all you guys, and now I stare at analytics and all that. I don't know. I like I said, I miss you guys. So it's like Sunday you're just gonna see me pop on the switchboard now.
You got to come on and
asking about what games are.
You should come on and co-host. You should come and co-host
you should totally
the show.
co-host.
Really?
Yeah. You want to do it next week?
Yeah.
Sweet,
sure,
let's
yes,
do
that
it.
sounds
All right,
like really fun.
Mikey's gonna come and co-host. This is so great.
That kind of surprising, but yeah,
Let's do it.
I'm game. That
Let's
sounds
do this.
cool, man.
See, and then you're gonna get groomed, so then you can swap in and host a show later. See, that's how it works.
Just when you thought you were out, we'll pull you back in.
No, but it's really fun. It's really fun, and we take live callers, and so it's pretty weird. So anything could happen. But it's really fun, and it's also a great opportunity for us to hang out a little bit.
Yeah, I dig that. It's such a cool idea. Like, no one else would do this in the game industry, but you're like, live callers, why not? Let's try it.
I don't care.
I think it's brave and cool. I know you don't.
What's the worst that can happen?
You do.
What's the worst that can happen? Somebody's gonna, talk to me like
The worst thing that's going to happen is somebody says what they tweet you, so we've already seen it anyway. So.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
like whatever. Actually, I think I'd rather have those kinds of conversations live than Twitter's the wrong platform for it. So, in fact, it looks like we've got a caller that wants to have one of those conversations.
Ooh.
What do you think, man? Should I take it?
I don't. So, like, if I were there, let's do a hypothetical.
Okay.
If I were hosting,
Yeah.
I would need their name and address because I'm going to go have a very stern talk with them.
I think we're going to have the talk. I don't think it's going to be stern, but I think we're going to have the talk. I think
boy.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go make some popcorn, and then I'm going to sit back down on my couch, and I'm going to watch this,
Sure.
and it's going to be amazing.
Ah.
Right. Yes. You should grab that popcorn because this might be good. Are you ready?
Oh, boy.
I am very ready.
All right.
do my
All right.
stretches.
Hey, thanks for calling, Mikey. You're going to host or co-host with me next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks for calling. Yeah. By the way, for everybody watching and listening that doesn't know, Mikey was Gearbox. At Gearbox, Mikey was a writer and a creative champion and worked on everything that we did. Mikey and I toiled over a lot of the writing in the first Borderlands game, and Mikey was the one who made my shitty writing funny and good because my writing's boring and methodical. But Mikey, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you and to talk with you, man. And I look forward to doing this with you next week. So awesome, dude. Thanks for calling. Awesome. All right.
Anytime.
All right. I'm going to drop you and try this other guy. All right. Let's try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See ya. Love you guys.
Cheers.
Bye.
Mwah.
All right. So I've got another caller here. I've got several, but I've got this guy. This guy was on Twitter, and I said, "Hey, you want to call?" And he's doing it. So let's talk to him. Let's find out what he's got to say. Hey, this is Randy. Is this Arco?
Yeah, man. Hello.
Hey, Arco. You're from the Netherlands.
Yeah, pretty much like I woke up today and I saw your tweet And so I don't know. It was just let's reply for once, and I was surprised you actually talked back to me.
I do. It's weird, huh?
So now
I'm relatively interactive, man. So where in the Netherlands are you?
Yeah, in North Holland. And
Okay.
I think you don't know.
Okay, not really.
Small city.
I've been there a few times though. I've done an event. I think I've done 2 different events in Amsterdam. So I've been up in that area a couple of times. Beautiful country.
Well, Amsterdam is great.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Amsterdam.
I'll tell you what. The strangest thing for me was I got in the evening, and because I'm in Texas time. It was like the middle of the day for me, and we had to wake up really early the next morning to do this event. But I knew like I'm not going to sleep for a lot of hours, so I'm going to be dead when this thing comes. So I need to get like some kind of sleeping pill or something to help me go to sleep. And so I asked, like, can I just get an Ambien or whatever? Apparently, you cannot buy a sleeping pill in Amsterdam.
Huh.
So the guy that organized this event that I had to do. He called his girlfriend who he said had something, and she drives over, and we're doing. It was basically we did a drug deal on the back steps of this hotel I was staying at, and I'm doing this drug deal, and I'm buying a sleeping pill, and I'm standing there, and I'm literally looking across the canal, and there's like a hemp shop and a mushroom shop. And like marijuana and all
all
this,
the things
all the
available.
stuff you can buy in Amsterdam without
Except-
issue, but I can't buy a sleeping pill. Apparently, you need a prescription, and you can only get one from a doctor, and they only work 9 to 5 on weekdays. So that was my Amsterdam experience.
Good to know.
So Arco, let's talk, man. So with the thing I was curious about, you tweeted me earlier. So for those people listening at home that don't know, I've got a friend who I follow on Twitter who's an independent game developer. His name is Rami. His company makes.
He's Dutch.
Yeah, he's Dutch. Yeah, his company makes some called Vlambeer. They make some pretty cool games.
Yep.
Their most recent game is a game called Nuclear Throne, which is a lot of fun. Who Rami told me it was partially inspired by Borderlands.
Ah, cool.
It's a great fun game. I highly recommend it. If you haven't checked it out, go buy a copy of Nuclear Throne. Your brain and your fingers will love you for the rest of your life. He's also done other stuff like Ridiculous Fishing.
I love that game.
And Luftdrassers
Yeah.
on a lot of different platforms. It's pretty awesome. Great game developers. And he was talking about getting death threats or something. I can't remember the exact tweet. So when I was flipping through Twitter because I was about to go to a meeting, and I had my email up, and I saw his thing, and at the same time that I saw his thing, I had this other email up, which is this whole long thread about. Did you see the death threat when it came in?
Yes,
because it came in through your group,
Yes,
right?
yep.
It was am I correct? It came in through 2K community.
Through support, which I think got through to then our support.
2K
which
support.
Then kind of, yeah.
Okay, so somebody wrote an email to the 2K support pathway, whatever, and it was this insane rant that included some pretty violent death threats, like talking about how the guy was going to get an AR-15 and kill every single person at Gearbox.
And our families.
And our families. That's right. Yeah, it was insane.
Sorry.
Now, it probably wasn't a credible threat. It was some clearly angsty, angry person. So I was looking at this whole thread. By this point, it had already gotten in the hands of our legal department, and they had already contacted law enforcement. The police had already come by and talked, and they were already starting that. But I was now reading this email, and that was up on my email client at the same time as Twitter was up, and this thing from Rami happened. So I'm like, I got to share this with Rami. This is crazy.
Yeah,
I
of
gotta
course.
he's got to see this nuts.
Yeah.
So what I did was I copy pasted the email into a Word doc and just used my phone to snap it because I was walking to a meeting, and I just, with the picture on my phone, I just attached it to a reply and sent it to Twitter. So, and I didn't check Twitter again for about 6 hours because I was working.
Which of course,
Yeah.
you know.
So some people decided that I'd made it all up. And they, I guess, where do these people hang out, Arco? Do you know? That are like 4chan or something? Or like, it feels like there's some leader somewhere that fires these guys up.
I for real don't know.
Okay.
I never visited now. Like, I know it exists, but I've never been on 4chan. I just woke up and I spotted the tweet because I follow you. There was like somebody asking, "Oh my God, why are people doing this?"
Yeah.
And then you replied to her that you said you didn't know either.
Yeah. So one of the journalists, I can't remember which one, jumped in and he's like, hey, yeah, some of these same kinds of people are still propagating some completely made up stuff about me and yada, yada, yada. So your comment was interesting. And please correct me if I get any of this wrong, because I'm just paraphrasing. I'm not looking at it right now. I'm just going to get the gist of it. You said something along the lines of like, hey, there are some people that have made some videos about you, like Jim Sterling. And I do, like, by the way, I do know Jim Sterling's name. I did it, by the way, I did this thing on IGN and I was trying to reference him, and I had that blank that you have where you forget somebody's name, and the guy who was interviewing me, who I've now just forgotten his name, but I know his name too, of course, he blanked too. He couldn't figure out who he was talking to. So a bunch of people said, "Oh, I'm lying about that." They're like, they just want to say I'm lying about everything. But
he made videos about that for a moment as well.
Of course he did. That guy's got a big fat hard-on for me for some reason I can't quite figure out. But so Jim Sterling, apparently he's made. By the way, I haven't watched a single video of his on around when the Aliens game launched. I'll tell you the story with Jim. Around the time when the Aliens game launched, as I always do when we have a game launch, sometimes people tweet me nice things, and sometimes people tweet me not nice things. But when people tweet me nice things, I tend to retweet them. I like nice things. Who knew? I like it when people say nice things. Okay, so I retweeted a bunch of those, and he was replying to those things, or he was on Twitter telling people that I made those up, that I was creating fake Twitter accounts and retweeting.
But no, that's not the story. I don't want to be a hater. I have nothing against you. I think you're a cool guy. You dress pretty cool. But his problem was like around the game release, suddenly those Twitter accounts with like almost no followers. He never said you made those Twitter accounts. The thing was around the time of the game release, you were retweeting those accounts, and they were praising the game.
Yes.
While overall everybody was hating on the game, you were retweeting those small accounts that were praising the game.
I was retweeting the people that liked the game, yes. And he had claimed that I was making that up, that they were fake accounts. He had gotten he had gotten people to believe that that was a lie, that those weren't real, that wasn't real praise. And he hit me directly on something. It was just total asshole-ish behavior. I don't even remember what it was, but I'm like, fuck it. I just blocked him because that's what I do. If you're gonna be a big asshole to me, I'm just gonna block you. I don't have time for that. But I think that probably inspired him even more. That guy constantly. I don't know because I don't watch it, but I can tell when he posts something about me, because then a bunch of other random people hit me up on Twitter about stuff that just isn't true. So, Arco, illuminate me. What things has he claimed that are worthy, that you think that inspire people to be a jerk to me? Because I think your tweet.
Well, first of all, it's not hard to be a jerk online.
I understand that.
Like Twitter, Facebook. Yeah. You don't know who they are. It's really easy.
You said I have your tweet right here. You said, let's see. People are mad about aliens. You said, and you lying about a lot of things. So you called me a liar. And then you said, not hard to understand why people think you faked it. Okay. And then you said, don't play dumb that you don't understand why this happened. You got a lot of haters. It's sad but true. And then I replied and said, it's okay for people to not like something. That's how it goes with art. But I never lied about it. Not sure why people have to go there. And then you said, I don't like doing this. I don't even use Twitter a lot, but this just caught my eye since I follow you. But I think Jim Sterling and some other YouTubers made videos about you and those things you said. And then you said, can't pretend those things never happened. Since you deny it, people are mad. So what things am I pretending never happened that the videos are saying about me and what I said? Let's figure out what it is you're talking about here.
Well, I think the biggest problem why you're getting so much hate, and again, I never done any of it. I don't use Twitter generally. But I think the big reason why you get this much hate is because you never addressed anything of the drama. You never said anything, and that's the whole problem Jim has as well. He made a ton of videos, and you never
what
even
drama?
brought it up. He said nothing.
What drama would you like? Do you think I haven't addressed? Because
It's
every
alien
journalist.
Marines.
By the way, every journalist who's ever asked me a question about aliens, I've answered them, and I've spent hours being interviewed about this topic, and it's not my favorite thing to do, and I have not avoided anything about this. So what drama have I not answered? Do you think that deserves being answered?
But the whole problem is, like, I can bring up some things, but it's like mostly about alien colonial marines.
Bring up something.
But I think everyone who will watch his videos, you will see the game. It's pretty clear. It's downgraded. It doesn't look as good as on E3.
But that's so that's a subjective opinion. And by the way, did you know this? There was actually a class action lawsuit about this, and it ended up losing.
All info I have is through his videos.
It ended up losing.
Like all I can say.
So there's a lot of, I've noticed there's a lot of, and I haven't seen all of them, but I was forced to watch one during that class action lawsuit. I was forced to watch a video, and it was a video. There was a couple of guys that were the voices commentating, and they showed a clip of something that was in some preview before the game came out, and then they showed a clip after the game came out, and they were comparing the two things, and their words and their behavior. They pause it, and their posture was like, you'd think they were talking about Sandy Hook or something. It was like they were like extremely riled up about, like, this is the biggest controversy ever. And what I was asked to watch, the video I was asked to watch, the first part, it was a scene near the beginning of the game when the hero player is walking through the umbilical that connects the Sulaco to the player ship. And in the
like the glass bridge, right?
Yeah, in the pre-release version, there was the character walks in, and he looks up, and there's a body of a Marine that slams against the glass, and the glass shatters, and there's blood all over the glass, by the way, and then it wobbles, and he falls to the ground, and there's blood on the ground, and he lifts himself up. You see him put his hand on the ground where the blood is, and then he looks at the blood in his hand, and then he gets up, and then he moves forward. It's part of it. It was basically part of what we call a head ride, which is sort of an engine rendered cutscene. The player's not in control, but it's the engine rendering something from the perspective of the player, right? In the final version, everything was identical except the blood was removed and the glass wasn't shattered, or it didn't shatter as much. There was like a tiny little shatter instead of a big shatter. And I looked into that one. And yeah, there was a difference. Things change. When you make things, the people making them make decisions along the way, and they make decisions. In that case, the designer who made that decided that somebody criticized that pre-release video because why would there be blood in the umbilical cord? It had just been put in. No, nobody's traveled in it. It doesn't make any sense. So the blood was an anachronism. The conflict hadn't occurred yet. The player's walking through it for the first time. There should not be any blood there already. The second decision was about how much the glass cracked, and that decision was about obscuring and blocking the view through the port. The broken glass, too much shatteredness, blocked the view through the glass, seeing the beautiful starscape above. And part of what the animator was going through when he had the character look up was to see that starscape. It was important to sell and to create the impression that the player was walking through an umbilical that was connecting two spaceships together that were in orbit around LV-426. And the more that view was occluded, then the harder it was to be left with that impression. So those were artistic and creative decisions that were made, and yes, the games change. But no one can tell me that's what their beef was with Aliens, because that's bullshit. Some people did not like the game. That's it. And that's okay. And when we don't like entertainment, we can find every little reason to nitpick it. But when we love entertainment, we can also excuse horrible, horrible things, like the ship that made the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, right? I love Star Wars, but that doesn't make any damn sense. But I'll make up an answer for it because I love it. But when you hate it, everything annoys you about it. So what I think happened is I think there's a lot of people that had expectations that were higher than what we delivered. I think our game disappointed people. Not everybody, but
Jim Sterling himself, he was excited for the game. From the E3 footage he saw, he was excited for the game.
Sure, I have my own hypothesis about Jim Sterling, by the way. But who knows? That guy, his business profits from getting people riled up, though. Like his whole pitch is the Jimquisition. His entire pitch is about, I'm going to tear things apart. So his whole...
The thing is, he brings it funny. That's why people like it.
I guess. Yeah.
He brings it funny. He's a funny guy.
Great.
He's
that's
waving around a big orange dildo or purple dildo.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's childish.
I haven't seen him wave the big purple dildo. I haven't seen any of that. But that's everyone's choice with entertainment. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the idea that the idea that he's propagating, the idea he's convinced maybe you and definitely some other people of, is that I am a liar, right? The narrative that I think he would like you to believe is that my goal.
No, but I thought of it just now. I got a good example.
Okay.
The biggest thing is I think you need to watch his videos to understand why people are hating on you. Like, there's another thing. You were basically saying, Alien Colonial Marines, it's a good game. We made a 7 game. But if I look on Metacritic right now, it's a 45 Metascore and it's 3.5 user score.
And you know what?
You're saying it's a 7 game.
That's what I think.
Of course, I understand because you made it.
But that's what I think it is. I'm also the first to tell you that I'm not objective. Electronic Gaming Monthly thought it was a 9. This is the nature of entertainment. Can I tell Jim Sterling he's wrong when he gave it a 1 or whatever the fuck he did? Because if I can't tell him
have a one-on-one.
What's that?
Have a one-on-one with him. He wants to talk it out, but you never addressed anything.
He has never reached out to me.
The whole problem.
He has never reached out to me.
I don't know about that, but I think
I'm just telling you, he never has.
I think
he never has.
He wants you to bring something up. He wants you to address it.
The guy's done much better off of me than I don't know what I stand to gain on that, but I'm not afraid. If he wants to reach out to me, if he wants to talk to me about it, I'm totally happy to. I don't give a shit. But the point is this, that I'm allowed to believe the game is a 7, right?
If I made the game myself, of course I would praise it as well, and I would probably love it. So
but
I understand it.
But I'm allowed to believe the game's a 7, right?
Of course.
And if I believe it's a 7, why does that make me dishonest or a liar or an asshole? Like I think sincerely, I actually think it's like between 7 and 8. I think it's like a 7.5 maybe. But that's just my opinion. That's and I'm the first to say I'm not even objective about it. I freaking worked on the damn thing. Like, it was being made while I ran the company. Like, I am absolutely not objective about it. And I got to spend a lot of time in that franchise, in working with some of the other people that have worked on that franchise over the years. And that was a gift. So I have a very fond feeling about that game. And I also can tell you, and I can tell Jim, and I can tell anyone who wants to know, that every single person that I know that worked on that game did so sincerely and with the commitment of their best efforts. The fact that they disappointed many people is disappointing. That's sad. It's a gut wrenching for an entertainer to spend years of their lives, and in my company's case, millions of dollars, to try to create entertainment and then to not entertain everybody. Mm-hmm. But that's absolutely within the realm of possibility with art, right? Hello?
You just cut off.
Oh, I said it's absolutely within the realm of possibility for someone to make a sincere effort in trying to create art, but to have some people who look at that art not like it, right?
Of course.
Yes,
Everyone has his own opinion on.
But that doesn't mean they're liars. It doesn't mean that they wanted people to not like it, right? Because the narrative that Jim Sterling would have you believe is that was the plan. That the plan at Gearbox was to try to make you believe the game was going to be great and then purposely make the game not great. And that
not purposely.
But that's what he wants you to believe.
Even in the Steam store.
That's what he wants you to believe.
Store, you have like still videos with like the E3 footage, great looking screenshots, and when you bought the game, it didn't look like that.
It absolutely the screenshots
like
are the screenshots. There's a guy on the Twitch chat right now. I saw him scroll by. His handle is Athlon Dude. Mm-hmm. He was tweeting me for a couple years plus, every week or so, screenshots that he took from his copy of the game that were just absolutely beautiful because he absolutely loves Aliens, and he spent a significant amount of his time playing it. And he thought the game was beautiful, and he took some incredible screenshots. If you look up Athlon Dude and check his Twitter and look up the media, you will find user-created screenshots that are better than the ones that were actually created by Sega for the official marketing. If you want to flip through his Twitter. There's no fake screenshots. It's like that's a false narrative. I get that some people might not like the game as much. I also respect that different people play on different platforms, right? Every video game in history, especially on Steam, you're going to use the PC. It's a PC game on Steam. But every video game in history, when they market, if it's a multi-platform game, they're going to use the materials from the best version of the game. And Sega was no different when they created the marketing materials for the Aliens game. Sega used the best looking platform, which was the PC version with the settings on full, and that's how they generated their marketing materials. That's just how it goes. So he's Athlon Dude's on Twitch right now, and he just said, "You're damn right I was, and I'll make more. Almost 500 hours play."
Wow.
I've played, and I love that. And I don't quite have 500 hours clocked up with my with my game, but I'll tell you what, some of the multiplayer modes like Bug Hunt are some of the most fun I've ever had in a multiplayer video game, and that's sincere. Mm-hmm. And I wish more people would have found and enjoyed it, and I don't know why. I have my own hypothesis about why Jim decided to go on the attack, and I think it was an easy target. I think it was a great way for him to get attention. I also noticed that it happened around the time when he went from a world where he had maybe 10 or 20,000 kind of followers, and he used that controversy to help bring him to a new level. So what else do you think? Like you in your Twitter, you called me a liar. What do you think I was lying about, Arco?
No, honestly, I just think you need. I know you don't want to. I honestly just think you need to watch the video to understand why this is all happening.
I get it. I'm asking you a question, though.
It wasn't even me calling you a liar or me calling you a liar myself. It's just in general, people call you a liar.
Your words were, and you lying about a lot of things.
I know I can sound pretty hostile when I started discussions and stuff.
Right, but that's kind of. But don't you see that's part of the problem, right? Like every time someone like you says that and someone else sees it, there's no actual evidence. I never lied, but there's a lot of people that believe I did.
But I'm here, I'm willing to talk it out. Actually, kind of like this. Talking is better than writing. I don't like to write on Twitter. It's just sad.
So why do you think? I get that those videos exist, and that's why he is inspiring people to hate.
But the thing is that it's hard to come up with examples right now live on air. Literally, I could watch a video and say the things he brings up, but it's better if you just watch it yourself and understand.
I get it. Let me ask you something. Do you believe that the Earth is flat?
No.
Right. It's absurd, right? Did you know that there are people who believe that the Earth is flat?
Of course, yeah, I know. There's a lot of people in the world.
Do you know how that happened?
Yeah, they believe a certain guy that is preaching it, and they believe it, and they follow it, and they
watched a video.
Share it
they
with
watched a video on YouTube that sounded really convincing.
Sorry, but yeah, I know this
It's
is
the
just
same
one
exact
example.
thing.
There's other
It's the
things, but
same
still.
exact thing. And the people that are creating the videos that are trying to convince others that the world is flat, why do you think they're
This
doing
is the
it?
thing.
Why do you think they're doing
There
that?
is screen footage. There's interviews with you talking. There's like evidence. It's not
I
just
get
made
it.
up
And the
thing.
people
evidence.
the people that make videos that try to claim that the world is
It
flat,
might be out of context.
they
but still.
put evidence
is
too,
things
but
you
it's
can
all
see.
made up. I can make you I used to be a magician. I could make you think black is white if I wanted to. Okay? But that doesn't make it true, and it doesn't make the earth flat, and it doesn't make the victims of Sandy Hook being actors. It doesn't make the 9/11 a conspiracy.
Wait,
right?
who tweeted that again? No, wait, that's like I know the fat guy, the screeching guy. What's Alex Jones?
Yeah. There's people that are good at convincing others that bullshit is true and true is bullshit. And I hate to tell you, but your guy Jim is one of them. And he profits from that. And so that's why I'm not going to watch that stuff any more than I'm going to watch a 9/11 conspiracy video or a flat earther video or a Sandy Hook conspiracy video or any of that, because it's not good for our brains. It's really bad for our brains.
Like, because you never want to watch it. You never want to address any of the things he's bringing
I'm
up.
addressing it right now. I'm asking you to bring up the thing.
People won't just forget. It's the internet. They will never forget until you bring it up or address it.
I can address every time it comes up. Every time it comes up, I address it. I debunked everything that you've brought up so far. Right?
Well, I'm not sure about that.
Okay.
Or at least I don't know about that.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you go back and watch all your Jim Sterling videos and get your best argument together, and then maybe next week you call me back and we'll try it.
There you go.
But now you're just laughing about it. Now you think I'm some random fanboy that believes everything you're saying, and that's just not true, man.
Yeah.
There's multiple guys. It's not just him. But he's the biggest one with the biggest following. But there's other people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people.
There's
a lot of flat earthers too.
Guy.
Go on YouTube and look up flat Earth videos. There's a lot of those.
No, but really, I like
true.
this. It's like it makes you think. It makes you think about things. It's hard to say now because it's English. It's live.
Here are the. I'll tell you the narratives. I've heard them all. This was litigated. I mean, literally litigated in an actual court. Here are the claims. I stole money from Sega.
I would never know. You would ask me to come on live, so this is really on the spot.
I'll tell you the claims.
I like to talk about it, but I'm not some random follower that believes everything. Don't think like that.
All right.
I'm a fan, man. I have the fucking. Oh, sorry.
I'll tell you
the ultimate vault chest here.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
I'll tell you the claims. The first one, I stole money from Sega. I used money that Sega gave us for Aliens, and I spent it on Borderlands. That's a false claim.
That's a claim you made, yeah?
That's a claim that they've made, that people like Jim have made. It's not true. It's hurtful. It was the first source I ever saw of that was some blogger, an anonymous blogger who claimed to be a Sega employee, who, if you read the blog, can barely use English. Does not look like an employee of anybody. But that's where that claim was first propagated. It is a false claim. The truth is actually the opposite of that. The truth is that we made a lot of money off of Borderlands. We actually invested some of that money into Aliens. Sega invested...
I know, he brings up as well in the videos. But he brings all those things up, man. He brings it all up.
Yeah, but he brings up the lie part of it.
And that's why I think you need to watch it.
He brings up the lie part of it.
It's hard for me to explain.
All right. It's not. We're not gonna. This call is useless though. If you're just gonna say I need to watch a video. Well, do you have any points you'd like to make or questions you'd like to ask?
When is Borderlands 3 coming out?
Oh, you're my favorite. You're my favorite. Oh gosh,
we have to have our one every episode.
Like
we have to have our one.
No. And I love that so much because that's what it's all about. Because let me let you in. That's a perfect segue because that's what it's really all about. I exist, and Gearbox exists to try to create entertainment. That's the only reason why we exist. We want to try to create joy and happiness, and we want to try to entertain people. Our literal mission is to entertain the world, and we all work very hard towards that goal. And we are making games, and we've made many games in the past, and if we're lucky, we're going to make many games in the future. And the only thing we want, the only thing we care about is to try to create joy and happiness. And it's freaking hard. It's very difficult to do what we do, and it's hard to find that elusive thing because we're expected to invent every time, but we're also expected to not change things too much, right? So we have to ride that balance, and we don't know what it is. We have to figure it out in real time, and we're working on new platforms all the time and new technologies all the time, and it's really, really challenging, but we love it and we're committed to it. And sometimes we're going to release entertainment, and a whole lot of people are going to like it, and some people are going to hate it. And sometimes we're going to release things that maybe more people don't like, but some people still do. I believe it or not, there are people that absolutely hate Borderlands. They think it's crap. They think it's garbage. They think it's trash. There's other people that love it, and they think it's the best series of games ever made. And most people are in between. It's a good game. There's a lot of good games. That's the nature of all entertainment, and that's the nature of all entertainment that we've created. But we're going to keep swinging. The thing that's really strange, though, is how there are people, and you might be among them, who, like me, love video games and like entertainment. But the relationship that they choose to have with the entertainers, now that they can have that relationship because of tools like Twitch and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, the relationship they choose to have is one that's more destructive, one that tries to tear down those that are creating things. And when I was actually, even to this day, one thing that's strange about me, I can't stop. When I go to the beach, on occasion I have taken a vacation, and on occasion these vacations have led me to a beach. And when I'm on a beach, it takes me about 8 or 9 minutes of sitting on the beach looking at the water and the sand before I'm up, and I'm down there and I'm digging in the sand and I start building something like a sandcastle. It's just the craziest thing. I can't stop it. And I've noticed something over my lifetime of building sandcastles. Most people in the world don't build anything. Most people in the world are content to sit on the beach. Some of the people in the world, when they see a sandcastle, they admire it. They walk by and they go, "That's cool. That's awesome. That's cool that was built," and they admire it. When I'm building a sandcastle, it's more about me just needing to do something than it is about anyone else seeing it. But when people do walk by and see it and like it, it makes me feel good that I spent my time doing it. So there are a lot of people like that. But there are also a few people that they can't help themselves. They got to step on the damn sandcastle. They got to kick it over. They got to knock their feet through it. They got to crush it. I don't know why that is, but that world sucks. People that do that aren't good for our world. What we want are the people that want to make sandcastles to be encouraged to build them, and for everyone else that wants to look at sandcastles to look and admire them. And if you don't like a sandcastle, just walk by it, but don't step on it. Other people might enjoy it. And that's so interesting, right? So like all this talk about aliens, all this drama and whatever, and at the end of it, I invite you to ask a question, and the question is, when's Borderlands 3 coming? I love it, man. That means that you are a gamer and you want more entertainment, and that's all we're here to do is we're here to create more entertainment for you. You know I can't answer your question, but you know we're working on it.
I'm an Assassin's Creed fanboy, man.
Right on. Hey, thanks for your call, man. If you want to look at those videos and come up with like the specific, if you want to maybe bring a specific argument, you can call me next week. If you want to invite Jim to call, I'll totally take his call. I
will think about it. I need to do a research. It was like literally on the spot. It was kind of nerve-wracking.
I understand. Hey, man, thanks for your time. I'm going to let you go now, Arca.
Okay,
thank you for your time.
Good
All
night.
right, cheers. Yeah, good night. Well, that was an interesting call. What'd you think of that one?
Yeah.
Hey, this is at Nerdvana Live. We are a live call-in show. If you're listening in and you want to talk to me about any topic at all, feel free to call in. The number's on the screen. I'll tell it to you in case you don't know what it is. It's 800. What is it?
830-549-NERD. That is 830-549-6373.
830-549.
Nerd.
Is it
6373?
6373.
Yeah.
And if you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, the number is on the screen. Call in about about any topic.
Literally
you wanna talk
anything.
about. Yes.
If he took that call.
Yes, that's
take yours.
evidence that I'm happy to talk about anything. Oh yeah, Athlon dude's on the Twitch chat right now, or some chat, saying that if he needs links to my screens, let me know. Yeah, I think he could. So I was thinking about other things going on, and oh my God, hold on a second.
Whoa!
I've got a visitor right now.
Talk about live.
Hey, Rudy, how's it going? Hey guys, you guys want to meet a friend of mine?
Sure, of course.
Rudy, we're gonna get you in here.
Yeah, we'll swap out.
Do you want to swap out?
Yeah.
Holy shit, we've got a surprise special guest. So some people know that before I was a game developer, I was a magician, and one of my favorite magicians in the world is in Dallas right now, the Lab Man, the coolest magician on earth. It is Rudy Coby. Welcome to the show, Rudy. This is the at Nerdvana Live podcast. Come on in.
Oh, thanks.
Can you? Right on, dude. How's it going?
I made it.
Yeah, let's get this mic up on you.
And Fred.
Yeah, Rudy's here. Right on.
I know. I made
Right
it.
on. Oh, hey, man.
Hi.
I'm not going to come give you a hug. I'm not going to go on.
Okay. Why not?
So, how's it going? and here's my wife, Christy, giving Rudy a hug.
Well, I'm so happy to see you.
So, man. All
Sorry.
right.
I think I
Love crash. I
made
love
it.
this is
Just
the
say
best.
hi. That's all.
This is the best party crash ever. So, what are you doing in town, man?
I'm doing magic lectures for Jonathan Levitt.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right on. Did you
He had
just
to
finish?
cancel. Yeah, he was in Dallas. I just flew in at. I just did one at 2:00 and came here.
Right on.
after.
How'd it go, man?
It was great.
What'd you guys talk about?
Oh, I can't say because it's magic. Oh no, we talked about a lot of every
so
single thing.
methods and stuff. Like
No,
actual, it
yeah.
just or theory or
Yeah, and more about being inspired. The stuff that you would
perfect.
like. Yeah.
That's right up our alley, man.
Yeah.
So for you guys that don't know, Rudy is an amazing magician. He does a number of some of my favorite acts that I've ever seen. I think probably you're most famous for the legs, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
probably.
like 4 legs, and he gets a chainsaw and he chops each of his legs off one at a time until he's back to normal. There's videos of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Vimeo.
But I'll tell you, it's not that you got to see him live.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you
thank
ever
you.
have an opportunity to see Rudy live, holy crap. It's the best. It's amazing stuff, man.
Thank you.
Hey, I heard you did Halloween week at the Magic
I did.
Castle.
That was amazing.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, 9 days.
Holy shit.
Halloween week was 9 days.
That's
this year.
amazing. So
Yeah.
What was did you start on Monday or when did you do
Start
both
on Monday,
2
but
weekends?
but Halloween was on a Tuesday. So
Oh,
we got
so
the
you
extra
went all
2 days.
the way
yeah.
through, right? So how did Monday go? Just so you know, when you work a week at the Magic Castle and you try, especially if you're trying new shit,
Only you would ask that.
Monday's always rough. How
Yeah.
was it?
It was rough. I mean, my show is really super duper complicated. Like
Yeah.
the stage manager says I overwhelm the stage. That he doesn't mean it as a compliment, you know. So it's
Was
but
that
I
Brian?
would, yeah, but and that's all fine. And so and then this time, I say Monday and Tuesday was. Monday was crazy. Tuesday was getting... But anyway, my hero, your friend Paul Rubens, Pee Wee Herman came with Puddles the Clown and Erica. And they came on Wednesday because it was members night.
Perfect.
So I was happy enough.
So you got your act.
Yeah, by
you were pretty
Wednesday I was
tight by
okay.
then.
It was
yeah,
okay.
That's sweet. So yeah, Paul Rubens is Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah.
Mike is Puddles the Clown. Erica Larson is Magic Royalty.
Yeah.
Her grandfather and her grand uncle built the Magic Castle, and her dad created the Academy of Magical Art.
Yeah.
Or sorry, her great grandfather created the Academy of Magical Arts. No, her grandfather. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused. Her grandfather created the Academy of Magical Arts. That's Erica Larson. She was a past president of the Academy.
Sure was.
And that's quite an audience. I'll tell you what, nothing gets magicians, or at least nothing gets me more nervous than when there's people I really respect and care about that are in my audience.
Yeah.
Right?
No,
So-
and he's my, and you probably know that he's my hero. I mean, I love David Copperfield, love all the magic stuff,
Yeah.
but Pee Wee,
Yeah.
I copied his HBO special by hand, like
Oh
the
my
one
God.
from in the 80s, the adult one, to learn how to write characters and how long
Yeah.
the character should come in. And I mean, I've
That
told him that, I
guy's-
transcribed it. And I'm definitely stalkerish, but
He's amazing, and for anyone that's into variety arts or live entertainment, Pee-wee's Playhouse is like, if you study that's like a master class for an adult mind. Studying Pee-wee's Playhouse, that's a master class.
It teaches you how to. It taught me how to. Yeah, like you know. I mean, I think the same thing would happen if you transcribed Saturday Night Live. You get in a certain rhythm, you know. And but I told him. I mean, I've written it out in script form and handwritten. Like
that's awesome.
And I told him because he was at Brookledge. He came to see me. He saw me at the castle with Erica, and I couldn't even talk to him. Everyone else is getting photos with him. I couldn't even.
Sees up.
No,
right?
I mean
hero, right?
Hero. Like beyond. And if you see my show, you'll see how much it's. You know, and the 1960s Batman. Those are my real touchstones.
Okay,
you know?
okay. Yes,
and,
I feel it.
Adam West with Pee-wee more than anything. But anyway, I was at Brook. He said, "Are you performing anywhere else?" I was, I'm at Brookledge tomorrow. And he goes, "Oh, come and see you." And I'm like, "I'm only doing 3 minutes." It was at your thing.
Oh yeah. That's right. You did legs.
That's right.
Yeah.
I did the 4 legs.
He was there.
So I guess
Was that your first time meeting him?
I met him at the castle the night before, but then the first time I really got to talk to him because I was afraid.
The first time you got to talk
was
with
your thing,
hero,
of course.
Was it my gig?
No, it's even better than
Yes.
that. No. So no. No, it's better than that because I was coming in, and he goes, I'm bringing my stuff in, and I hear his voice, Rudy, and then he doesn't sound like that, but Rudy, and I was like, what? I turn around and it's Paul Rubens, right? I'm like, hey man, wow, thank you so much for, no, I really want to, it's totally cool. And I'm carrying my crap, like extra legs, chainsaw, my cloth. He goes, oh, let me help you. And he's like helping me carry the stuff in. So he helps me
He's
carry.
Your prop hand.
I know, he helps me carry stuff in. And once we got inside, I said, look, I just have to tell you,
Come
what
clean.
you mean. No, you have to come clean what you mean to me,
Sure.
And without becoming emotional. And I said, but seriously, you saw the show last night. And I think you could probably see through it, but he is such a sincere, beautiful guy.
He is. He's great.
Absolutely, I think is still surprised by people like me being that dedicated and that.
Sure.
But I told him, I said, I have no career without him. He inspired me, so much.
He can't possibly know the number of people that he's touched, inspired,
Yeah.
or planted seeds with that then use that to grow into other things.
Right.
He can't possibly know it.
And it was so
And
funny.
that's why we fight, though. That's why I
Yeah.
think why all entertainers do what we do.
Absolutely.
Right, yeah.
No, and it's just, and when you meet your heroes and they're really great, is the, you know what I mean? It doesn't always happen.
Sometimes they're assholes.
Yeah, sometimes I'm good. So, we could say that. But no, it's, I met a couple that are, nuts. But he is beyond cool. So he came to the Magic Castle with Erica on the members' night for the Halloween thing, and I did not know he was there. I was talking with Fred Becker on the way here. I did not know hero was there, and which is good. And he was in a Halloween costume, so with funnels, right? So I do the show. But anyway, on stage, I had from Planet of the Apes. It was the best costume I've ever seen because it was Halloween. But she looked like Dr. Zira. If you remember Escape from Planet of the Apes. So they had the astronaut costumes.
Which bit was it?
They were wearing astronaut costumes, like from Escape from the Planet of the Apes. So it was Cornelius and Zira. So I brought her up, and it was movie quality this close. Yeah. So anyway, Magic Castle, you can't take photos. You can't take photos. But I'm just saying, maybe somebody really cool took a photo of me with Zira on there, and maybe it appeared in my inbox, and maybe that person might be the coolest person ever.
That's
but
awesome.
We cannot say. I'm not confirming or denying.
It was members night.
Yeah, it was members night, and Dr. Zira was on stage.
That's awesome. What bit was that?
I did the nail with her.
Oh, yeah. you did Blockhead?
Yeah, I did. I sure did. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, it was amazing, and it's so much fun to and be here with you. It's amazing.
This is so cool, man.
I know.
I'm so glad you're here.
That's why I said yes. And
what a surprise!
Yeah, I was only I'm doing magic lectures. Tomorrow I'm at Texas A&M. They have a magic club at the.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Houston on Tuesday. I'm not advertising. I'm just telling you. But Jonathan Levitt, famous magician, got some TV thing. So they asked me at the last minute if I would do it, and I was like, yeah, why not? I want to come down. I'm going to see Nerdvana finally, measure that stage finally.
Oh yeah. Are you gonna come over?
Yeah,
to the Peacock?
I want to measure.
You guys want to come up to the Peacock? He's gonna, because we got to get Rudy to do a show at the Peacock. We got to make sure we'll see what you can do. Yeah, you're gonna see it's very much inspired by Brookledge.
No, that's all.
I think legs will look great there.
I keep hearing.
Oh, you'll love it. You gotta come up. So last week we had Mike Caveney and Tina and
I keep
Jay
up
Johnson.
I know. I keep up on.
He
that's
did 30
amazing.
minutes.
Bob, I mean, oh my God.
God, I know, right?
I saw that photo.
Talk about somebody else that's inspiring.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was an amazing show.
But it's so much fun to it's you guys, you and Erica both are keeping variety arts alive.
Yeah, well, we've got
big.
bigger dreams too. We're just getting started.
Oh, good.
This is training wheels, baby.
Good.
We're gonna build like a public venue and then try to stamp out a circuit, get a circuit going, like what I always wished existed when I was working. Trying to hustle as a magician.
Yeah, I wish it existed now.
I know,
we need
right?
more
We're
of
working
that,
on it. We're working on it. Yeah.
The Magic Castle is a weird thing because it's like basically I can do it once a year, and then I skipped 1 year just to do Halloween. You know what I mean?
Right,
So it's
right.
But it's just and the fact that there's another version of that here with you, I think that's already just in your house.
That's the dream.
Yeah,
that's how Brickledge started.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so we're planting the seeds using a similar kind of model to kind of cultivate variety arts.
All right.
So
you don't scare me.
Hey, you do you play video games?
You know what? It's funny. I'm not good at. This is embarrassing because of where we are. I'm one of those people. I'm 53. Okay, so
it's okay.
No, and I'm not conversant. I have a PlayStation, but it's like one of those things. I'm one of the guys who's like trying to. Okay, now I have to put my credit card. Okay, and I've downloaded it, but now horrible. I need a friend. I need a gamer friend to sort of make it work.
You automatically though get nerd cred. I mean, your whole act is
a
testimony.
I'll tell you how nerdy I am. You'll love this. So you
have a comic book.
Yeah, I have my own comic book.
There's a Labman comic.
But
book.
I was a gamer back in the day.
Okay.
And I'll tell you what I used to. You'll love this. I used to be, and this isn't, Pac-Man days,
Yeah.
But I was like I was the person that, you play 6 hours until the chip burned out, where they had to reset it and unplug it and stuff. So I used to do, remember the blindfold driving?
Uh-huh.
I used to do a blindfold thing.
No way.
Yeah, Cuda Bucks, but with Pac-Man and people would watch me for 6 hours until I burned it out. For real.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Yep. So you knew all the Pac-Man board patterns.
Yeah. And the thing is with that trick, cause normally you put silver dollars in your eyes and cookie dough and tape and a hood and you drive a car.
Yeah.
Now what makes it mysterious is if you do it in a parking lot and you're just sort of doing it right, the people that go on a highway and all that, it's a trick.
Yes.
But the same thing with Pac-Man. If you did that with a game like whatever, Gallagher or something, where it's not so much a pattern, people would know immediately you're seeing through somehow.
So with Pac-Man, because of the pattern, there are patterns to the boards.
It's all patterns.
Yeah,
for 6
so
hours. Yeah,
you only need a couple of peaks.
Yeah. So and people would believe it. They believed
absolutely.
it.
Yeah. So that's a good idea. Yeah. So
if we go back 30 years,
I don't know if you've seen. I was just talking about this earlier on the show. A friend of mine named Eugene Jarvis, the guy that created Robotron and Defender.
That's my language.
So he's got a company called Raw Thrills, which builds coin ops. They did a massive 10 or 15 foot tall Pac-Man.
I saw the
pixel
photo.
Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, and they're using like a jumbotron screen.
Right.
And it's in arcades now.
Well,
and it's amazing.
I saw a photo of that. Maybe you posted it.
It's super cool. Yeah.
No, and I got to admit,
so it's still
the
alive,
Mario game coming out is exciting me just because.
It just dropped.
Okay.
Do you have a Nintendo Switch?
I do not.
I'm gonna hook you up.
Oh, what?
I'm gonna hook you up. You know the right guy. I'm gonna hook you up, Rudy.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm actually it's stupid, but I mean, those games like that actually inspired my show more than magicians. You know
That's
what I mean?
awesome.
The creator of that, you know what I mean? Because it's intuitive and funny.
Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah. Oh my man,
He's one of my heroes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird though. Since I've been in both worlds and I've been straddling that line for a while, it's strange. The crossover is strange. So much of what I do in video games, I actually learned from live entertainment.
Of course.
Totally. Like everything I learned about entertainment, learned on a stage.
And that's to me, if it's not intuitive, that's what I liked about, I realize it makes me seem old and it's 20 years ago, but I was engrossed by it.
Yeah.
Because of the characters and the storylines, and it's entertaining.
It is. Absolutely.
That guy is, it was incredible.
It is. Right on, man. Cool. Hey, dude, thanks for... You want to stick around and get some dinner with us at Nerdvana, and then we'll go up to the theater? Do you mind if I finish the show off?
No.
Dude, you are fucking awesome. I can't believe you came by. This is Labman. It's Rudy Coby. Hey, when's the next time you're performing? When can we see you?
I'll be at Frisco, some house.
Okay. All right, dude. All right. Cheers, man. All right. Thanks, man. Take it easy, Rudy. Cheers. I'll see you. I'll catch up as soon as we're done with the show.
Okay, no problem.
Give me about 15 minutes. All right. Holy crap. One of my favorite magicians, Rudy Coby, just randomly stopped by. I think Rudy, you're living in Vegas now, right? Yeah. So Rudy lives in Vegas. He was in LA, obviously, working the castle for Halloween, and he's in Dallas doing lectures.
That's so cool.
I think what happened there is Christy's like, "Hey, you got to come by," and just threw him up in the booth. Like, holy crap! So Rudy's
this is a
incredible.
live show, folks. Anything can happen.
So-
Anyone can stop by.
So look up Rudy Coby on the internet, and you will be fried. He is incredible. His magic is amazing, and you'll see exactly what he was talking about. And that's how cool is that the first time he got to actually chat with Pee Wee Herman, with Paul Rubens, was at my gig. So there's this secret venue in LA called Brookledge. It's an underground private theater. It's been around for almost 100 years, and it's a place where people that might get hassled if they go to live entertainment in public can go and watch the best in variety arts. And it's managed and owned by Erica Larson, who I mentioned earlier, who's a descendant of Magic royalty, and she lets me use the Brookledge facility once a year during E3, and I host a show at Brookledge, and I get some of my friends and entertainers to come and just blow, and I invite all these video game execs and video game designers and other people that I'm friends with in the video game industry, and so all these video game people are in this ancient incredible theater watching all these incredible acts, but I also invite sometimes some Hollywood friends, and Paul Rubens came, and that was amazing. That totally happened. So holy crap. So welcome back, Elisa.
That was so cool.
Should we try to squeeze in one more call before
I think we can.
Okay,
we can.
Let's do it. Let me get this call on.
We got a repeat.
Let's see.
Looks like.
Hi, this is this Jack from Sacramento?
This is Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Jack.
Welcome back. This is Randy. You're live right now. How's your weekend going?
Hi, Randy. Hi. Good. I'm in the process of moving right now, so I thought I would take a minute and give you guys a call.
All right. Well, I wish you luck
It's a nice
with the
little
move,
break,
and
yeah.
we'll be your break for you. So what's going on? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about?
So I want another Borderlands 3 related question to see if I can get somewhat of an answer from you. This one's not technical or nothing. Just I know over the last couple of years, some of the voice actors that actually worked at Gearbox have left and moved on to other companies. Are they going to be returning to voice actor characters like David Eddings? He was Claptrap and he left to go work somewhere else. Would he be returning to reprise his role?
So I don't know. I'm not even sure what characters will be in a future Borderlands game. But I will tell you this: if characters that were in past Borderlands games or other Borderlands media appear in future Borderlands things, I think that we'd want them cast appropriately. So if we're talking about a video game, I think as much as possible we'd want those past characters played by the people that played them in the past. If they are if we're talking about a movie, there's probably new actors for a film. If we're talking about spin-off video games, I think it depends on the video game. If we're talking about other ancillary things, I think it depends. Now, Claptrap, you mentioned, that one's really interesting. David, of course, played Claptrap, and David's a friend of mine, and I was really sad when I had to fire him. But we all have to make tough decisions in life. Last I heard, he's probably still a little sore. But I know that being Claptrap is important to him. Now, in the past, he did voice Claptrap, but we have had other people voice Claptrap. There have been times where David has been ill, or other things have gotten in the way of him being able to record, and there are other voices that can do it, and no one has ever been able to notice or tell, not even David. It's because of the way because of the processing that happens on the voice. The voice you're hearing on Claptrap is not exactly the voice of the actor. It's sort of a combination of a live actor with computer generated stuff on top of it, and that affects it. That said, if David wants to do Claptrap, we're certainly going to invite him to. If we need that character voiced again, and if he wants to, he'll be welcome to do it. But if he doesn't, and we do need that character, and we have needed that character for a couple of things since he's left Gearbox, and we've had other actors that have done him in the past do him, and we can't tell the difference. So that character will be fine.
Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, and as much as possible, I want as many of the actors that want to play their characters. If we're going to use those characters, I want those actors to be able to do that. But I will tell you that there's likely going to be future Borderlands content, whether you're talking about a film or a video game or other mediums, that will be introducing new characters at least as frequently as bringing back old ones. And new characters are always an opportunity to cast new people that we've never heard of before. In Borderlands 2, we introduced a lot of characters that were not in Borderlands 1. And I think a future Borderlands video game might have the same pattern. But we'll see.
I love the jump that was made from Borderlands to Borderlands 2. The amount of characters that were added, Handsome Jack, Mr. Torg, Tiny Tina, Ellie, just the depth of those characters was just absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
That's what made Borderlands 2 so amazing. And I mean, I play it almost daily, 5 years after the fact.
That's awesome. And I'll tell you what, those characters you just mentioned, they created a challenge for us because we love them too. And so we're constantly balancing between our interest in spending more time with characters we love, but also our interest in exploring new ground and covering new territory. And we have to find that balance in everything that we do. And I think with some of the work that we're doing, we're finding that balance. But it's too early to tell. There's so many things in flux that it'd be a mistake to commit us to anything. By the way, earlier.
I understand.
Earlier, I was talking to a guy who was talking about some people that were disappointed with Aliens, and one of the reasons I think why there were some people that were disappointed with that is Sega had us talking too soon about that game, and it was talking about that game before we had it settled, and I think that when we're most in control, when it's our own property, and when we're working on something that is our bread and butter and our product, we're more likely to wait longer and not talk about it until we know exactly what we're doing. So, thank you for your patience. But I know you're rooting for us to do a good job, and we want to not disappoint anybody. So we want to try.
I know you guys will do a good job. I mean, I even played Borderlands Legends when that was out on iOS.
Oh, wow! Wow!
I play everything that I can get my hands on.
Wow. Hey, this is an interesting. Since you played that, I'll ask you a question then. Should we do something on mobile, for something else on mobile for Borderlands, and what kind of experience do you think that should be? Because that's a difficult problem for us.
I enjoyed it because, like I said, Randy, I told you last week that I've got like $18,000 invested in my Borderlands collection, and I didn't get pictures to you, like I said. Sorry.
It's okay.
You're in the middle of moving.
You're moving.
Once you're settled, definitely send those over.
I mean, hey. Christy has sent me stuff in the mail before.
Oh, wow.
I've interacted with her on Twitter.
Oh, wow.
She's absolutely the best.
Yes, I agree with you.
I would love a mobile game because, like I said, I'm still playing Borderlands 2 5 years after the fact. I'm still finding new ways to keep myself entertained, like doing the One Life challenge on it, or I did something a couple of weeks ago. I did the no skill point One Life challenge. So
oh my God!
Wow.
You played through
from my character.
What? That's insane.
I got to level 22 before I got knocked off the map and died.
Oh my God. That is insane. Wow.
The most useless way in the world to die. Not an enemy. I get knocked back and launched off the map.
Were you just like? No way.
I just kind of dropped the controller in my lap and just
You're
stared
like-
at the screen and was
Left.
like, "Are you kidding me? Really?"
Yeah, every once in a while I compel
Like,
every once in a while I compel myself to try doing things that like hardcore in certain games that offer hardcore modes, and then you get going where you think like this is going to be it, and then when it all goes to shit, there's nothing you can do but just sit there.
Place the
You can
controller
just sit
down,
there and go, like,
walk away.
You accept it, yeah.
Yeah, you just
There's no reset button. There's
Yeah,
no,
you're like-
can we take it back 10 seconds? It's like,
Yeah.
really? I got to start all over now?
oh man!
Yep.
But I even made it harder. I did no hand-me-down weapons either, so I couldn't put weapons in the Claptrap
you
locker
didn't
to give
use
to
the
my
locker.
character.
Wow.
That's hardcore.
I tried to make
dude.
it as hard as possible.
That
Yeah, you
is
did.
And it was
hardcore.
fun, man. I was
Hey, what do you
I was
think
doing
about
it with Maya.
what do you
because,
what do you think about adding difficulties levels to the game?
I would love that. I
Really?
would love that.
It's something we
because-
debate.
Yeah, because I mean, there's certain characters like for me. Everyone tells me, my son included, Zero is like one of the strongest characters in the game, and I agree. You spec him right, he can be, but I don't enjoy playing as him.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit my play style.
Right.
I'm more of a mid-range attacker, so I like Salvador and I like Axton and Maya.
Okay.
Whereas
I'm an Axton player
Zero's
mostly.
either up close and personal or far away, and I don't like up close or far away. I like that
Yeah.
mid-range. You
Yeah,
know?
I think you and I play
But-
a lot alike, incidentally, and I don't mean to interrupt you, but if you're curious, in the final analysis, it turns out I'm an Axton player in the final analysis.
I'm a Maya.
At the beginning, I thought I was going to be a Sal or a Maya. I was trading crowd control and throughput, but at the end, I'm Axton. It's so strange. Anyway, go ahead.
No, that's how I'm an Axton guy. And then when it came to doing the Digistruct Peak, I realized that the character that was the easiest to do him on solo was actually, for me, was Maya.
Yeah.
Because if there was a big, strong bad guy that I needed out of the playing field, I'd phase lock him, take him out, and just take cover, wait for it to regen, take him out one at a time.
Yep.
And
Christy,
'cause I tried doing all the OP levels solo, and it's hard, man. Doing those solo, it's hard.
Christy plays Maya. The crowd control ability there is just second to none. That's something that we really have to respect and think about.
Especially if you do a phase lock. Phase lock with singularity grenades, you pull literally everybody in the middle of the field and just unload.
That's ridiculous.
sick.
If we do something on mobile, what kind of experience do you think that should be?
I don't know the type of game like that, but one thing that I don't know if you remember when Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag came out. They had a mobile game that you could play. That so in the console game you would steal ships and send them to your fleet, and then in this app you could use those ships that you sent there and send them out on missions, and then they would bring back supplies and money that you could then use in game.
Yeah, I love
so
that.
It made
I love
the
that
mobile game
interoperability.
important.
Yeah, I love the interoperability.
Yeah,
that seems like a cool thing.
I was on that Black Flag app nonstop.
But what to do with mobile's always been elusive for us. But I feel like I kind of want to be able to take my experience with me. We experimented with something, we called it Loot the World, and it wasn't really a game, but it was basically a barcode scanner, and what you could do with it with the
I remember that.
the Loot the World app, you can just scan any barcode, and it would generate a piece of loot, which you could then upload to the game using your Shift account. And that was kind of neat. Some people figured out some barcodes that could produce.
Yeah,
some pretty
I
rad
used
loot.
that for quite some time too, and because that was out around the same time as the Great Loot Hunt, which was one of my favorite video game events of all time.
Oh,
God, I
right
love that.
on.
I wish there was more.
Okay, well we'll have to remember that. Awesome. Hey, let me tell you.
One other small question,
go ahead.
Randy, if I could.
Yeah.
How would somebody go about pitching an idea for a side mission for Borderlands 3?
Pitch me right now.
Okay, so according to the story, in Borderlands, Claptrap's the only Claptrap left. Now, in the DLC with Sir Hammerlock, he thinks he found another one. We go and hunt it down. Turns out it's dead, that a skag, swallowed it, killed it. So if you remember the old Garfield cartoon and how Nermal and Garfield interacted, Nermal thought it was the cutest thing ever, and Garfield hated him. So what if we find another Claptrap, and he's like half the size of our normal Claptrap, and he says the same stupid things that regular Claptrap says, but everybody loves him when he says it, and everybody hates Claptrap when he says it. Claptrap periodically,
I love it.
he mails our small Claptrap multiple places throughout Pandora or wherever we're going to be, and we have to go and retrieve the small Claptrap and bring him back. Because like I said, everybody loves him.
I love
he
it.
says the same stupid shit that yellow Claptrap says.
I love it. I love it. That's funny. That's really funny. I like that idea a lot. Hey, let me tell you a couple things about Claptrap since we're on the topic. First, we don't know on a macro level whether or not Claptrap is the only one. Ooh. We only know that Claptrap thinks that, and Jack hopes that. But they're both unreliable, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's possible that the people that believe that there's only one Claptrap aren't correct.
Ooh.
That's an interesting tidbit. The other thing, I'll tell you the secret of Claptrap's character if you're ready. You ready for this? Here's the secret of his character. The secret of his character is to swing him up and down as much as possible. So when he is low, like Claptrap's birthday party.
Yes. Oh, God.
Everybody wants to kind of like him. Like it's like you feel sad for him and you kind of want to help him out. And so you take him from a low point and then that brings him to a high point. And when he's high, he's an asshole. And then you just want to tear him down. Yeah. And the secret to him is not to keep him low or keep him high, but to swing him back and forth as much as possible and as frequently as possible, because it's the swings that make that character fun. And I agree. I think your idea can help that. I think there's something to it. Now I can't make any guarantees, but I'm going to bring that thought up. I'm going to bring that thought up in the writer's room, and we'll see if it sticks to anything. I don't know where it'll stick or where it'll manifest, but yeah.
I picture them all the Vault Hunters and like Moxie and everybody, at her bar in Sanctuary, and they're all kind of hanging out and. And then the little Claptrap speaks up, and they're like, "Oh, that's so cute." And then yellow Claptrap's like, "Wow, I just said that 5 minutes ago, and you yelled at me."
I said the exact same thing, and you guys shot me. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I totally get it. I think it's hilarious. Right on. Hey, thanks for that. Holy crap! I've just profited from this call with a great idea. Thank you, Jack.
What?
Hey, do I have your permission to use it?
You're welcome. Absolutely. I would be honored if I played the game and saw that in there.
All right. We have a record of that. Thanks, man. All right. Hey, Jack, I'm going to have to let you go, man. But thanks for your call. And I wish you luck with the rest of your move.
You're welcome.
All right. Talk to you later.
Good luck with the move, Jack.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Well, I had some other stuff I wanted to talk about, but we kind of killed all our time. So I think we should wrap it up. What do you think?
Sure thing. Yeah.
Right on. By the way, what we're trying to do, I know some people are fine calling in, and you can use your phone. It doesn't matter if you're international.
And you can use, get yourself a Google Voice number for free.
Call in on Google Voice. Use your computer, whatever. But I think we're looking into a different way to use the internet to talk to us, right?
Yeah, we are looking into Discord as a possibility.
Okay.
As a way to get hopefully more of you hanging out there in the chat. I see you. I acknowledge you, and I love you. So that hopefully Discord will make it more accessible for more people to potentially talk to us.
Awesome. So maybe next week or the week after we'll have that ready. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Mm-hmm. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode of At Nerdvana Live. Thank you as always, Elisa. And we'll be back next week.
All right.
Cheers.
See you later.